I feel like you can't really help because you don't have any hands.
Nope. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do some stuff. It just won't be like a straight story. Even though it's been a journey, I don't think there's enough of a story to it. You know what I mean? But you can see. Yeah. Like I bought new tires in July, but they were only on for 3 months. I've been running my winter studs from November until yesterday, basically. I swapped back to my mud tires. Yeah, those tires in ice, like I would have died this winter. Like serious. Like I spun out on the highway one time in my studs, and if I'd been in my mud tires, I would never, like I would have just kept going.
Your first car?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah.
So you turned 16.
I got it like 4 months after I turned 16. I drove our old 88 Dodge for a few months. The blue truck. The blue truck was my first car, but I wouldn't buy it.
So you're a single cab. You have to start with.
This is free. This is free.
You got the 88 Dodge, single cab.
I was loaned that until I got a real car of my own.
Forgot about that.
That thing's great. What a fun truck. All 180 horsepower of it.
Where did you find this Jeep?
So even though we had family that owned a Mopar dealership at the time, because Uncle Robert was still around and had that dealership, or no, he wasn't still in that dealership, we couldn't find anything there, so we went to like a sketchy guy in Hamilton City, like one of those used car lots, you know, and I found it on Craigslist or internet, definitely internet, I think it was Craigslist, maybe cars.com, and I already looked at like a Passat and some other nonsense. And my mom and I went to look at that, and it had like not stock tires already, and that was it. Everything else was still original. And I was like, this thing's great. It's got 100K, and we bought it that day, and it was great. And we were a very Jeep family, so it was very fitting.
What year?
So that's an 01 Cherokee, which is the last year they made it. It's a sport, and at the time, my mom had a Commander, my sister had a 02 Grand Cherokee, and we had a CJ7 old Wrangler at our ranch. So we're like a very Jeep Mopar. And we had 2 Dodge trucks also, and we had a Chrysler Crossfire. We had everything was Mopar in our house at the time. But yeah, so that was fun.
Did you start working on it or got away?
No, that first year I got it, my mom originally said I couldn't lift it because it needed to be my safe car to run and have as my only car that I was going to have for many years, which was pretty valid because they bought it for me. And then I hit dry ice over on Dirks Road, not dry, black ice, like in weird wintertime, slid out 180.
Real cool.
Yeah, way weirder. Hit black ice, 180'd.
This is why that's on the road.
180'd and smashed my rear hatch into a telephone pole and raised the rear off the ground. So the first work I did on my Jeep was paying $2K to get the rear of the unibody stretched back out and replaced. Yeah, it sucked.
That's where it began.
And the cops came to like make sure I was okay, and they like made sure I wasn't drunk, which I was totally sober. I was going to a friend's house. Nothing was going on at the time. And they're like, you need a tow truck. I was like, am I allowed to drive my Jeep home? I was 16 years old. I didn't know what I was doing. And they're like, does it drive? Because the rear was off the ground. So I put it in 4-wheel drive, and I drove it out, and then I drove it home. Actually, I went to the girl's house. I went out for the rest of the night, and then I drove it home. Didn't even go straight home. Then I told my mom because she was out of town. That was good. So it would have been the next year, junior year, is when I lifted it at my friend's shop. My friend's dad was a mechanic and owned his own shop, and so he basically helped me do my lift, but did not charge me anything because I did it with him, which is cool because I had no money when I was 17 years old. It was really hard to do that sort of stuff. Yeah, I like pieced the lift together over a year. And then I started using it a bit and getting stuck. I went mudding and all that stupid stuff we do in Texas when we're kids. And I think that, it should have been junior year, you and I built that roof rack, 100-pound roof rack. Not really 100, it's heavy though. Steel tubing and everything, I still got that thing. That rack holds my tire up top because the tire wouldn't fit in the back anymore without the seat being down. 33-inch tire is too big for the original mount. And that thing would hold the tire and me standing on top of it without any flex. So we very much overbuilt it. Like it would hold 350 pounds fine.
Steel tubing.
Steel box square tubes, yeah.
Yeah, it's a square tube.
It works great, it's just really heavy. But it'll hold up to any, like I could probably run it into something and it wouldn't come off. Yeah, it would break the gutter mount.
No, you took it off.
I've pulled it, one of the gutter mounts broke years ago, so I haven't remounted it, and my gas mileage drops 2 to 3 miles per gallon if it's on there. And for this drive, I didn't need that.
Golly. So how long, through high school, through all that, how long did it set up between then and now?
So I ran it, high school got used well. That's when I went like off-roading proper a few times. I had it in college until came back in 10. It died in summer of 2011.
Motor died?
Motor blew. The oil pump went out on the highway, driving from Austin back to Fort Worth for summertime. started overheating. I was like, oh God, what's happening? And I kept driving because I didn't know what I was doing at 20-ish, 20 years old. I was not 21, 20. And it overheated and died. And I cut across the highway very fast while I'm slowing down drastically without any power steering. It was really great. And pulled over and waited. And then I walked to a gas station and bought more coolant and cooled the engine down and tried starting it, and it seized completely and locked up.
Yeah. I do recall one time.
Before this.
We were going, I think, to 4-wheel parts, and your drive shaft fell out.
In your neighborhood.
And you had to put it
Into 4-wheel drive. Drive front wheel drive. Yep. That happened twice. Because I lifted it.
I remember was on the highway.
I lifted it and the rear drive shaft was too short basically because the lift, it was a stock drive shaft still. And when you would basically lurch, so I probably floored it up to 4K or something stupid at the time, and it stretched a bit and pulled it out, and the straps were worn out so it could slide out on the U-joint. It was not, and the U-joints got toasted afterwards too, so there's another $50 down the drain. Yeah, that was dumb. I remember that.
Yeah,
Now I have like a really big drive shaft in the back.
We were exiting for Camp Bowie,
Okay.
and you were following me.
And I disappeared.
All of a sudden, you weren't there.
That tracks.
Shaft fell out.
Usually you only let it have one end, so it was still there and it'd be thunking into the concrete,
Yeah.
which is why it destroyed everything. It was
Yeah.
not good. I think I own 2 unbalanced drive shafts.
Just the 4-wheel drive and
Drove it on.
4 parts.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
So how many times has it been towed, or has it been driven less than it's been towed, or relocated? Like,
It has been driven. I put just under 40K on it in 4-ish years of driving it. 5 years of driving it really. So like not that low of mileage in that sense. It's got 100, just under 150 on the chassis. Motor's only got 5K, realistic 4K. 6K now. So it's been towed a decent bit, but it has been towed from Austin to Fort Worth, from Fort Worth to Dallas to our ranch, and from Dallas to Colorado, which was a 1,000-mile tow. So it's been towed by a Jeep, which is kind of fun because Jeeps can't really tow that much weight, but we towed it 1,000 miles with the Grand Cherokee and didn't blow out the motor or the trans. The trans blew afterwards, but it wasn't my fault. We confirmed that. Eric was like, I looked. I don't blame you at all. It was good. Sure, it stressed the shit out of it, but it was fine.
Put a little extra.
But yeah, it sat, straight up just sat for like 8+ years. Then it kind of got moved around, but from 2011, it did not run again until July of 23. So it was dead for 12 years, almost to the day.
Love it.
And then we fixed it, and I started driving it, and it's been my daily now because, well, I have a motorcycle, but it's the only car I have right now, and it's been great. I've had some issues, but it's been great. I just drove it 9 hours today.
Yeah.
so normally, like when you have like a project like that, it just never gets touched, like ever again. Like 12 years.
When it first went out, I didn't know when I'd get to it. Once I brought it out to Colorado, it was decided. However, then I got married and divorced, and all these things kind of got in the way of it ever getting done. But then it got done. I also didn't want to buy another car, and so I was like, I'll just fix this one. That was part of it too, because I was done buying vehicles for a while.
We already had one. Just needed a motor and a drive shaft.
The motor was already. I rebuilt the motor during COVID. The motor's been done for 4 years. I just never finished getting installed and sat, and that was dumb. And then I just paid my mechanic to finish it. Like that's how I did the motor, but the install and the complete, like there's a couple wires and pigtails that I got redone, and he did all that. I was like, I don't want to think about it anymore. And now I can deal with fixing all the little shit that breaks every 2 weeks. It's great. It's great. That's what happens when my vehicle is 22 years older than all of y'all's. Only one. It's great.
Yeah, so today we have a Nissan, GMC, Toyota, and a Jeep.
Oh, yeah.
Nice
So it is a diverse crew.
How do you wear y'all's trucks?
Mine's a 23.
Okay, that's what I thought.
23?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
22 years old.
That's wild. It's incredible.
What's yours? 23?
23, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
His I was sure of, but yeah.
So what would be a success out of this weekend?
As long as I can drive it home. That was decided when y'all told me to flip it.
Drive it home after.
No, we're not. No roll. I don't want to replace all the windows. Insurance gets pissed about that stuff.
The goal is shiny side up. Yeah. That's the goal.
Yes. Rubber, as long as at least 2 tires are on the ground at all times.
Done. Oh yeah, that's easy.
Yeah. I don't mind a little bit of air, but not all air, you know? And this cannot handle landing. It is all solid axles, and the suspension is not meant for that. No pre-runner nonsense.
So have you done anything suspension-wise outside of like?
It's got a 3.5-inch lift on it. It's got crazy cut fenders and 33-inch mud tires.
A lot of custom work.
A lot of custom cuts to it for sure. I mean, it's got a lift that normally fits 31s, but I've chopped it to fit 33s with 0 rub. Like it tucks properly and everything. It's got drop. It's unibody, so yeah, it's like external framework essentially. Lots of toe points, most of which will work fine.
We'll find out. Yeah.
Bumpers that can handle impact because either 1, they're dented, or 2, they're steel. So either way, we're good to go. I'm the only one here with a CB radio because I guess that's not as cool anymore as it used to be.
I used to have out.
That used to be like the only way to talk on the trail.
CB's out. You gotta go GMRS. Yeah.
That's so funny to me. CB was just so easy.
I think it's a range thing.
Because GMRS goes like 30, right?
That radio, they say that my radio.
Mine's like 5 to 8.
Kind of terrain will go 50 miles.
Yeah, that's 10 times what I get. You don't think that's true?
I don't know.
Okay. But 20 to 30?
I think 5.
Oh, well, that's what a CB gets anyways then.
No.
On flat, line of sight, 5 for sure.
Line of sight, I think that'll go. 50.
Then you'll get 50, you think? Gotcha, okay, for sure.
With that antenna, it's supposed to quadruple.
Wait, can it work without any antenna, like just the internal built into the box sort of thing? It has to have an antenna still. Okay. Same with the CB. But.
But there's different ones, like little magnet antenna that comes with it. There's a stubby ghost antenna.
Yeah, friend's got that little stubby thing like that.
Times, and then there's a web, which is 4 times.
Yeah, but you can't talk to truckers. I was talking to truckers this morning.
You know,
Yeah, dude. I wanted to make sure my mic still works, so I just said what's up to one.
I employ truckers.
And you don't want to talk to them?
Without ever talking to any of them.
I think because I don't employ them, I'm okay talking to them, you know? It's one of those things. Oh, I saw a Red Cloud Road. I saw a Red Cloud Road on the way here. Made me think of you.
Correct. Oh, yeah.
That was just the name of the road.
Named after a mountain in Colorado.
In Colorado. I don't know, I figured something, but nice.
Red Cloud.
By the cabin or no?
Yeah, it's a 14er.
Ooh.
It's a double.
Saddle?
Yeah, it's a double peak.
Have you done it?
Red Cloud and Sunshine. I did Red Cloud and I watched Carla continue on to Sunshine.
But you did your namesake, which is all that really matters. That's fine. It was only another 30 minutes. But good job.
That's awesome. Be a fun weekend.
Hell yeah.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. Be a good time. We'll break something. Yeah, oh, no.
Y'all can break stuff, you know? You guys are all following each other home, so you got support on the return. Like, he can tow you along. He's got a winch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to tow you out. We got you covered.
Give it a little swirl because that honey mix it up.
Anything to add, Matt?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it's
Other
fun.
than getting to enjoy my tent with the diesel in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge.
Sweating tonight.
I
Have you
don't
done
care.
a tour of tent? Maybe that's a morning activity.
That's gonna be the that's what campsite tour.
Tour Le Camp.
Tour de camp.
We are definitely well set up.
Yeah, this isn't bad.
Why'd you park so far away from them?
He wasn't invited.
We wouldn't let him.
That's I was like,
Diesel eater.
Yeah.
We weren't sure what was going to happen.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little. That was a little sketch.
I saw how far away you
That was
moved.
a little sketch.
I had total faith that nothing bad would happen. I just thought it may not turn on.
Yeah.
Well, it's just got this big warning on there. It's like F petrol.
It is. I mean, I'm sure it's right. It'll clog up right away.
It's like,
Can you trigger the recording remotely?
yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, that's convenient.
Frame it. It's gonna be dark.
Oh, you can frame it because it's motorized.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's helped.
So
Wait,
wedding-
that's motorized?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
did not realize that.
So
That's cool.
wedding.
What?
He can control the
That's
lens
either
on
my
it.
watch off to the side, or I put it up in the front, and I can move it.
And just leave it as like a full scene type.